Similar to the conversation we were just having about the Lakers, the Sixers know what the future is, and that is around Tyrese Maxey. Could Paul George be beneficial? Yeah. The Knicks just played them last week when they had all three, Embiid, George, and Maxey. They did manage to get the win, but you can see sort of what the vision was with if all three of those guys are healthy and available. But I'm with Wendy. To have him back late in the season, healthy, I don't know the details of the suspension. I assume he still can be around. I don't know for sure, but if he's still a part of team activities and, you know, leaning his veteran expertise, that's a positive, especially for a guy like VJ Edgecombe, right? Like, their games are not similar, their size is different, but he is a rookie who's been fast-tracked in terms of being able to be a productive member of the Sixers early in this one. This is sad. There's a lot of questions I have around it because mental health is something that we take very seriously. I have a hard time with how this has come down, because I would think that the league would want its players to be in the best position possible mentally and physically.
Well, listen, I mean, you know, Paul George, obviously, when healthy, was a terrific player. And he's one of the best people, I think, that you can cover in professional sports. He's class personified. So when you hear something like this, you feel bad because he accepted accountability for it. Obviously, he's got some issues going on with his mental health, and he was taking some medication, and evidently he was mistakenly doing so. Nevertheless, we still have an obligation to look at what kind of effect this is going to have on the Philadelphia 76ers. If you're a Sixer fan, you've been disappointed. He didn't play too many games last year. Now he's going to miss games, an inordinate amount of games already. This is after having left knee surgery in offseason and missing games at the start of this season. They're 16-11 when he plays with them this season. They're 11-10 without him, okay? But this is the same guy you signed to a 4-year, $211 million contract. You expected more. And even with Joel Embiid not necessarily healthy, he's averaging like 34 over the last 7 games. He's averaging 26 on the season, okay? And in the end, he's playing more games than Paul George. That's not a good sign. But I will say this, Paul George being out, Wendy, I don't necessarily agree with you in terms of him having a terrific shooting season. I know he's come on a couple of games as of late, but he's shooting 42% on the year. 38% from three-point range is not bad, but 42% from the field, that's certainly not what he usually shoots. So I wouldn't say he's having a great shooting year. He definitely is somebody that benefits the 76ers when he's on the court with Embiid and Maxey on the rare occasion that he is. VJ Edgecombe can use this as an opportunity, hopefully, at some point, to capitalize off of it. He is giving you 15 a game. I'm just of the mindset that, again, this is not a plus. It's not the minus that everybody thinks it could potentially be, because that gives him additional time to rest his body, get himself in shape, and be ready, because they're the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. They're expected to make, to be in the playoff picture. And if Paul George misses these 25 games, obviously so, once he comes back, he certainly will have his body rested. Right. He should be even healthier than when he departed, and who knows what that can translate into. But as of right now, this is not news that you want to hear if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, not with the money you doled out for him. I can tell you that much.
One thing I will say, you certainly aren't wanting a $50 million 3-and-D player, but a 40% three-point shooter who defends like him is important for a team. What will be interesting between now and Thursday, this money that Paul is coming out of Paul's pocket, it actually favors the 76ers because it reduces their luxury tax bill immensely. The last couple of years, when Joel Embiid has been injured, the Sixers have made moves at the deadline to get under the luxury tax, which they actually could do again here because they're now so close to it. But now that they've gotten this a little bit of extra space, will they make a move to add to this roster? And then there's another potential offshoot that could happen out of this that they can try to spin it into a positive. We'll see.
Okay, so there's an interesting wrinkle. The Sixers, by the way, on the road.
Because the rest of their point guard situation is not good, okay? But as far as I'm concerned, Cooper can continue to play good, and the Mavs can lose every game the rest of the season. I would tell Kyrie Irving, work on that knee, work on strengthening it. We will see you in the fall, sir, and you will be our point guard, and you can work along with Cooper, and we will draft the best, highest pick we can get. I'm not worried at all. I'm not stressed at all about Dallas and their point guard situation.
I'm with you, Wendy. This is much ado about nothing. One, I think Jason Kidd has a decent relationship with the media in Dallas, the times that I've been there, at least to cover him.
Yes.
He absolutely is a Hall of Fame point guard. He knows some stuff that the rest of us don't know. That's a fact. But I will say this, and the other piece of that sound, like toward the end of it, he says something to the effect of, y'all are going to criticize me no matter what I do, something to that effect. So I just think this was one of those moments where it's like, yo, You have your opinion. I am working with the kid daily. I'm only a Hall of Fame point guard. I've only been a 10-time All-Star and played 19 years in the league, right? I've only won 2 Olympic gold medals. So I think he said it straight to camera. We got some colorful language in there, but I really think this is much about nothing. I mean, locker rooms have heated exchanges all the time. So do media spaces.
Well, let me, time out. Hold on. We can't say it's all about nothing, Monica and Wendy, and here's why. Because we don't know how this is affecting ownership. Who would have ever thought that Luka Doncic would have been traded? 25-year-old, global iconic figure, traded for an NBA All-Star and champion, no doubt, but somebody who was relatively injury-prone and was 6 years older. Who would have thought that they would have done that deal with just by talking with just one team and getting just one draft pick and another player in return for the greatness of a Luka Doncic? You never know, even though his relationship, I will concede, you're absolutely right, Eminem, with the media for the most part is good because they do respect him and they treat him with respect. And I think he knows that once his temper dies down a bit. The fact is that you don't know what he's dealing with. I'm not talking about you guys, but just generically speaking. You don't know what they're dealing with internally because that's not Mark Cuban there anymore. That's somebody else with a different agenda, and you don't know what decisions they're going to make and why. So just if you can get rid of Luka Doncic like a thief in the night, who's to say that Jason Kidd feels safe? Who's to say that he's not sitting there wondering if the kind of questions that he's getting is some sort of indication that folks above him might not be pleased? Nico Harrison is gone. One would argue that he didn't make that deal on his own. He couldn't have made that deal without ownership approval, but they booted his ass out of there. And now we don't know if Nico Harrison will ever have a job in basketball again because his name is synonymous with making one of the worst trades in NBA history because that's how it's looking right now. All of these things have happened, and Jason Kidd has been there. So we don't know that Jason Kidd is feeling safe, and he is not talking like a man who believes that he may be next.
Okay, I hear you on that, but if ever there was a time where the relationship between the people in-house and the decision makers moving forward around Cooper Flag, if ever there was a time, there should be the most open and honest lines of communication on how you can make sure that this guy is next up. It seems like it would be now. So,
quick question, Eminem. Should they have traded Luka Doncic?
No.
All right, but they did, right?
Which is another.
And if Luka Doncic ain't safe, how is anybody in Dallas safe?
I feel you. But considering how much egg is on their face, I would argue with Flag, you need to know: do you have the connection to take this kid to the next level or not? I would think, but you're right. Anything can happen in a whole new world.
I suppose. I mean, Wendy just told us.
I think the one thing that's safe to say about Dallas ownership is we don't need to be saying what they need to know because clearly they've shown us they don't know a lot.
Jeez.
That's fair. I mean, Wendy did tell us last week.
1 year on, Dallas got no problems. They got Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. It's all going to be okay.
However, the Mavericks have lost 4 straight by a combined 25 points.
Doesn't matter.